I've been talking about the importance of team culture since I first started coaching professionally over 6 years ago. But recently, it's become the latest buzzword, endlessly repeated on streams, podcasts, and broadcasts, much like tempo from 2018 or rotations from season 4. If a team is overperforming, we say they have a great culture. Underperforming, well, it's a poor culture. This can often be said about the same team in summer compared to winter, and often said by people who have no idea what the culture really is from the inside. We use it as a catch-all to simply say, well, it looks like the players are getting along, it looks like they're having fun. But culture, just like tempo or rotations before it, is something that's incredibly important, and it is something that we should talk about. So as coaches, what should we do to create a high-performing team culture? Is there a model to copy? Now, while you can of course learn from others, there's no right answer, and even copying someone else directly won't guarantee you success. Not only will what works for you be different to what works for them, there are also many examples of teams who had a great culture, but that does not mean that they made one. The culture of G2 in 2019 was one of the key factors that led them to be the best Western team of all time. But after upgrading the roster, it all fell apart and everyone looked worse. So did they really create the culture, or did it just happen with that group of players in that specific time? From the outside, we really can't say. So no, there's no model or blueprint that you can copy that will work with all people in all times. But here's a map to get you started in your own way. As a head coach, the culture starts with you, and this is often a step of the process that goes overlooked. We're so focused on what other people need that we forget to look inward. But what kind of environment do you want to work in? And what kind of situation would make you thrive as a coach? It's not just these players, it's these players and you. You're a unit, a team. So start by thinking about what kind of culture do you want, and then you can start integrating the needs of the team and the players. Next, once you have the whole team together, you need to cover these 4 bases. How you do it specifically is up to you, but you must include some form of looking around, learning about your teammates, looking inward, learning about yourselves, looking out, learning about the wider organization. Where are we right now? And looking ahead, planning for the future. Now, this last point, looking ahead, is the most important, but it's informed by all the previous ones, so do not skip them. The main point is you need to talk about culture. Romain from G2 has a great phrase that I love: make it conscious. Don't just assume because we all want to win that we'll all want to work in the same way. So build out a set of principles or standards that you want to live by, and then build out a set of rules that are going to enforce those standards in practice in your day-to-day. Take your time. You have to go deep with this and make sure you're really accepting everything that you want to live by. You're not just saying it because it feels like the thing that we should agree on. Once you've done this, you now have a map for team culture. Now you've just got to be consistent on the journey. Phil Neville said the main focus of his job as a coach was simply holding the team to the standards that they all agreed on. So keep your team's principles in focus. Whether you look back after every single practice day, or you look at your behaviour from the whole week, you need to ask yourself, did we live up to the principles that we established? Where did we fall short? And where can we do better? And don't just leave these values in a box. At least once or twice a split, take them out, look at your map and discuss again. Do we still agree on this direction? How has our understanding of these principles changed based on what we've discovered throughout the season? Now, doing all these steps will not guarantee you a high-performing culture. Unfortunately, nothing will. But it's the best way to put your finger on the scale and increase the likelihood that you can make something really special happen.